Welcome outside Gillette Stadium, everybody. My name is Mike Petraglia, joined this time by Patriots contributor for WEEI.com, Ryan Hannable. Ryan, you were on site in Buffalo with us on Sunday afternoon, and you experienced and witnessed firsthand the carnage. Two really big losses for the Patriots. They lose linebacker Jerod Mayo for the season with a lower right leg injury, and then in the second half, Stevan Ridley goes out with a right knee injury. Both of them gone for the season. The mood, first of all, you were here on Monday. What was it like inside that locker room?
It was a pretty somber mood in the locker room yesterday. And I mean, not many guys spoke because of the beatings and such, but when you have guys go down like Mayo and like Ridley, those are important contributors to the team. So it was definitely somber, and they know that they have tough roles to replace them, especially with Mayo being his second time in consecutive years he's lost for the year with a season-ending injury in Week 6. So it was tough, but this could be a rallying point like we saw for Tom Brady a few weeks back.
Speaking of Tom Brady, Ryan, we also were in that press conference room today on Tuesday, and what came out to me, or what struck me the most, was that he and the Patriots really don't have time to process the emotional side of losing two big players and certainly one big team leader in Jerod Mayo. Everybody knows how well they're loved and liked inside that locker room, but Brady said this is not about processing those emotions right now. It's getting ready for Thursday. In that regard, how do the Patriots get ready for Thursday, and do you think they'll be fine in terms of the emotional angle of playing the Jets?
Yeah, I think they'll be ready. Matthew Slater talked yesterday in the locker room about how no matter when they play the Jets, they're always ready to get up for the Jets. There's still that rivalry there. I mean, even the Jets with their start being 1-5, losing 5 games in a row, the Patriots are still excited to play the Jets, and being a division game, the first division game for the Jets actually, they're ready to go, and they'll be emotionally ready, I think.
Now, we talk about the two players that are out with injuries. How do the Patriots go about replacing them? On the offensive side of the ball, as you mentioned off air, it'll probably come from in-house. Jonas Gray was somebody who showed pretty well in training camp. He is a fullback, and he's had some very powerful runs both in training camp and in preseason games. As far as the defensive side of the ball, when you're talking Jerod Mayo, you probably figured that Jamie Collins will move inside more. He'll probably get the green dot because, as you mentioned, Dante Hightower tried the dot a few times, didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I think it's going to come from inside, first of all. With being a short week, there's no time to bring anyone else in. And then in terms of what they do on the field, it comes down to probably starting with Hightower if he's healthy to even play on Thursday night. We saw him before the game in Buffalo, and he didn't look like he was ready to play at all on Sunday, so his status is obviously still up in the air for Thursday night. But yeah, like you said, it's probably going to be Collins moving to the inside, and then depending on Hightower's status, and then we saw Deontay Skinner got some action on Sunday, so I'm sure he'll play a part as well. Then with running backs, it'll be a running back by committee, like you mentioned, Jonas Gray, and then I think Brandon Bolden's going to get the bulk of the carries that probably Stevan Ridley got, so it's a good opportunity for Brandon Bolden to sort of break out in his career.
I really do think that is this is the biggest opportunity Brandon Bolden could ever really ask for. I mean, Bill Belichick loves him as a special teamer, and a lot of fans have been asking the last couple of weeks, why is Brandon Bolden active in light of, or in place of perhaps having an extra deep threat as a wide receiver, and Bill Belichick has said, well, he's a special teamer and people should not forget how much we value him. But now Bolden gets to show the Patriots and the fan base what he can do outside of just special teams on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I guess looking ahead to Thursday night, looking at the forecast, it's a 100% chance of rain. So I think the running game is going to be a big part of the game plan against the Jets, and it's really up to Brandon Bolden to sort of step up and relish the opportunity and sort of play a significant part in the game plan for once.
Well, you say that, Ryan, and it really brings back memories of last year when we all remember the rainstorm that in the home opener on Thursday night with these same New York Jets. It really turned into a monsoon, and you're right, the running game played a key factor, but Tom Brady kind of really, I think, has always embraced bad elements because he is a quarterback that feels, look, the defensive back doesn't know where you're going if you're a wide receiver, and if our wide receivers can take advantage of that, maybe there'll be some shots down the field. As we saw on Sunday with Buffalo, it was the first time all year Tom Brady consistently found space downfield.
Yeah, especially, that Brian Timms touchdown catch was probably
Spectacular.
Undoubtedly the catch of the year for the Patriots. That's a deep threat they've been lacking all season long, and that fight for the ball, with the ball in the air, that Timms really showed when he went up and took it away from the two defenders. Also, besides Timms, look for Brandon LaFell. He sort of, with the 2 touchdowns, came along and had another breakout game for the Patriots. So things are starting to come along for the Patriots offensively with the passing game, and Brady's starting to feel more comfortable with guys besides Julian Edelman and Robert Gronkowski.
You can definitely see that. Now, Tom Brady, I think, will be certainly ready for Thursday night. Will Rex Ryan be ready for Tom Brady? Brady was asked about going up against Rex Ryan, and he says he always tests you because he throws the kitchen sink. He throws every potential possible blitz. And in the conference call, Rex Ryan was actually asked half seriously, I think, why don't you just blitz Brady every single down? And Rex laughed and says, well, I wish I could. It doesn't exactly work that way. He even laughed, you sound like my mother calling me on the phone. Why don't you send the blitz all the time, Rex, and get some added pressure on these opposing quarterbacks? But Rex Ryan, speaking of the Jets head coach, was in a fairly jovial mood on the conference call with us here on Tuesday at Gillette Stadium. He said, look, we're not dysfunctional. We're 1-5. Obviously, the results are not where we expect them to be. We're not as bad a team as our record would indicate.
Yeah, I mean, they seemed pretty competitive in Sunday's loss to the Broncos. They were right there with them to the end. So they showed some fight against probably the best team in the AFC right now. So it's pretty hard to discount them out right now. It's their first division game, Geno Smith mentioned on the conference call yesterday with us. So I'm sure there's an element of them getting, off to a good start in the division. But needless to say, they're 1-5. It's pretty dire straits right now for the Jets.
And Rex was even asked about job security. He says, look, I don't worry about my job security. It is what it is. I know we have a good team. I know I'm a good coach. I know we'll be prepared for Thursday night. The Patriots, again, under Tom Brady, 6-0 on Thursday nights. We'll see if, as the Thursday night crew gets ready here, as the stage is set up behind us, we'll see if Tom Brady can make it 7-0. As he said, hopefully that's the case on Friday morning. The Patriots playing on a very short week, a banged-up squad as they are, but they have a chance to, again, take a big step forward in the AFC Eastern Division. They're 4-2 overall, 1-1 in the division, and we'll see if the Patriots can up their record to 5-2. Thursday night here at Gillette Stadium, we'll have complete coverage. Ryan Hannable, Christopher Price, and yours truly, Mike Petraglia, will be on scene giving you all the details of Patriots and Jets on Thursday Night Football. For Ryan Hannable, I'm Mike Petraglia, WEEI.com.